Yes, now bless now people. Friar Tuck, live and large, listening to Dealer. Well, at least we've listened to Dealer. It was recommended on Patreon by my good friend Joel. Thank you very much for the great recommendation, Joel. This was an enjoyable record. Nice and brief record. It was an EP, 6 tunes, entitled Soul Burn, all right? Dealer was the act. Yeah, great. Let's talk about it. So, we're heavy. We might be 6 string because there was a music video on here. It didn't look like they were extended range guitars, or at least the actual 6 string guitars are concerned. So maybe they're just heavily drop tuned guitars. But I thought there would have been an extended range guitar actually due to the lower frequency we were experiencing, the mind numbing theta waves, or you call it theta waves, I don't know, putting me into a trance-like state. Production-wise, it was good, but in this particular field, I'm so familiar with a very tech-heavy advanced production that it didn't necessarily strike me as anything spectacular. I don't think the production gave the band the justice that we've heard some other bands within the same field have, but that's not to put the production down. The production was spot on. Like, there was no issue. There really was no issue. But sometimes we hear more of a technological, experiment as far as the production is concerned, which may actually detract from the organic value and the emotive content and the connection of such that you wish to hear in the bands you enjoy. So yeah, it's not a downside. I like these heavy bands, these heavy metalcore bands that are doing sub 3 minute tracks generally. I mean, we've got 3 of the 6 tunes sub 3 minutes, and that's good for me. It's easy to get repetitive when your emphasis is on the low chug, on the primitive knuckle dragging E-chug, and I'm sure as somebody composing and writing this material, it's hard to like keep it fresh, because generally you're basing the essence upon the rhythm and the rhythmic element as opposed to like the melodic and the riffage, because you're not really flourishing in the fretboard department because you're emphasizing on being a primarily heavy band, heavy in frequency more than all. A reasonable variation of ideas here. Wasn't the most experimental of records, wasn't the most creative. Track number 5 was really good. It was entitled You and Frame, a little more of a post-hardcore, a little bit more of a 2000s emo-tinged number, straying away from the breakdown-laden destruction of the other 5 tracks. It was a nice breather, it was a nice break from the norm, and it wasn't there for their sake. Like, it actually was a good number and gave us a taste of brilliant marketable, for lack of a better term, sellout value the band can produce down the line. I mean, if I was a record label, it's what I'd listen into when it comes to these bands. I think, oh wow, okay, we could get a couple of melodic vocal hooks in there. Very nice. Drumming was all right. Guitar work was all right. Vocal line was all right. Bassist, I mean, what we do in root notes. But it all came together well as a good package. Production was all right. I don't think we excelled anywhere in particular. It was just a nice, palatable, enjoyable product that didn't outstay its welcome, that never went wrong. And for that, I appreciate this record. Soulburn, I'll give this a 6 out of 10. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Some of the metalcore records we've listened to have sort of pushed the bar out a little bit here or there. so they were worthy of a couple more points. This isn't really giving me anything new, to be fair, but as a project, it's really good. It's a really good project. It's a really good effort, and it's just an enjoyable project, you know, full stop. And what more do you want? What more do you want? But judging it purely on like creative value and the actual music and the craft and the ideas, it's nothing I've really not heard before, in all honesty. But on that note, I'm signing out. One love. Bye bye.